Welcome to Order Militaris Radio TV, and today we're going to be doing a video on the Catholic Party for America and why other countries need to start their own Catholic parties around the world. And we welcome Brother Alexis to the program, who has
Thank you.
started his own party.
Okay, thank you, AJ, for having me on. It's always great to speak on Order Militaris Radio TV, but since the summer, you and we've been talking about how Catholics need to get in politics and start Catholic parties, and you want to start the Catholic Party of America, and I've been trying to help you in that. And here in Italy, with a group of Catholics, I started a party called the Catholic Party of Italy, called Italy for Italians, and this is the flag of the party here. And we're doing this program to encourage you to be active. The world is going into darkness, and we need to start lighting a great light.
Mm-hmm.
And
the idea for this party, the one in America, was started right after we did the program on Saint Brendan and his Irish monks, and how we believe it was Saint Raphael who was leading them and said this land is going to be a great land of the saints and everything. And also Padre Pio said America will become a Catholic nation. Well, that has to start somewhere. And reading through the actual founding fathers who were Protestants, they wanted a Christian America, not what we see today, not what others think they say the founders wanted, but the founders wanted Christianity intertwined with the politics. So, as you see everything going on in the world, in America is collapsing because of the idiots who are running the government, the country, the states, and including the media. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
yeah, well, I think for the United States, it's pretty obvious that both parties are completely corrupt and inept. Completely corrupt because they just rob the public treasury for their friends and they never help anyone. And they're post-apostate parties. They hate Jesus Christ and won't even mention his name unless it means getting a little votes here and there. But once they're in power, they just do their own agenda. And I think it's pretty obvious now that America is going to enter into a communist regime. Trump is not doing anything to fight the steal. He keeps tweeting out, "Stop the steal," but he does blessed nothing about it. And if you hook your wagon to him, you need to take the veils off your eyes. You need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. This is a man who hobnobbed with Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Hillary Clinton. His whole political life, he hobnobbed with those people. That's why he never prosecuted Obama. He never prosecuted Hillary. So if you think he's going to prosecute Joe Biden, you're dreaming, because he was just paid to be an actor, and he's ready to go out on stage right and tip his hat to you with the big "I can't give the hand" sign because I'm a fireman, and that's basically what he's going to do to you. He's going to say, "I was robbed," but he's not going to act like a man who was robbed, because he's going to be paid billions for having stabbed everyone in America in the back with a smile.
Yeah. We learned it was either his first Christmas in the White House or the very last one as a private citizen. At his Christmas Eve party was none other than the enemy of the world, George Soros.
That's right. I mean, look it up. We told you this summer, and people didn't listen to us. George Soros has invested $450 million into the Trump family. So don't think for a minute that he's opposed to George Soros. George Soros is not the most wealthy man in the world. He is a pawn of the New York bankers. He was a nobody until he went down to Aruba, opened up a trading company, got all this money, slush money invested from the world bankers. And he made money for them, and so they made money for him.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the great Satan. There are a lot more evil, more powerful bankers above him. He is just the public face on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump is just a paid actor doing a one-scene part. But we Catholics, we shouldn't tolerate this. I mean, our God is the King of kings and Lord of lords. He told us when he ascended into heaven, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. He said that before he sent the disciples out to preach the gospel. So that means this is the gospel we need to be preaching in politics, that Christ has the right to govern our nations and our lords have the duty to conform to his laws. And we should not apologize, make excuses, feel ashamed about saying so.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to found Catholic parties or we'll never have Christ reign over our nation. And if Freemasons are governing your nation is enslaved to Satan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you look at what's going on today, folks, and even though he's a Congregationalist out of Boston, John Adams, and you read his stuff, it's like, oh, that sounds so much better. And their thought was pretty Catholic in some parts, and in some parts they bashed friars or monks, and it was like, way too strict, everybody, way too strict. And you read that book on 1874, the Constitutional Convention of the Presbyterians, and all the Christians together on rewriting the Constitution. He's like, that was written by a Presbyterian. I mean, and you try to say what they did, and you want to do that, you get attacked, not only by non-Catholics, but you also get attacked by Catholics. I guess we could probably name them now. Mike Church, Timothy Gordon, all those other talking heads with hundreds of thousands of YouTube followers saying, oh, this is enough work. This party will never succeed. You can't have another party. And it was kind of strange because it was Mike Church who gave us the link to that book. And we used it against him. So this is exactly what we want to do. Everything is controlled opposition here, folks, including the mainstream Catholic media and these so-called trads. And it's not these folks are trying to get into the party. Is it actual Catholics who are still believing and who want to make this country better and restore it and not go along with the status quo. As what we see right now and seen after election night, I'm ready to tear this status quo down and restore it to how it's supposed to be.
I think America is imploding on its own. I mean, anyone who's watching what's going on in America isn't just drinking the Kool-Aid or wasting away with video games or watching football or something. I think you have to realize that the nation is just going to pot. Trump took out $6.5 trillion to solve a scamdemic that never existed. Now there's a new bill. They're taking out more billions for their friends. They've robbed the national treasury to the tune of like 22 trillion, not for you, but for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's your national treasury they robbed. If you don't get mad about that, there's something wrong with you psychologically, and you have to admit it. You need to slap yourself in the face and realize that I have the right to be outraged. I have the right to take action, and I have a just cause getting rid of these crooks. And it can't be according to the games. You got to remember, The Masons are excellent on convincing you to use your loyalty for Jesus Christ in their service.
Mhm.
And that's what you have to resist in a Catholic party. And well, here on Ordo Militaris Radio TV, we've done a lot of programs to show you how much Catholic media is controlled. We have tied the Remnant, Catholic Family News, EWTN, Dr. Taylor Marshall, Peter Skojec, Mike Church. They're all tied to organizations that go back to the Central System Control, Gladio, CIA Ops, the Vatican that sold out to the Masonic State of Italy in 1929 for 2 billion lira, and a whole bunch of other organizations that are just toe the line. This is why you're not going to hear this from your bishops. You don't realize, I mean, most of Catholics realize that the bishops in the United States around the world are apostates. I mean, just today, the Vatican's Bergoglio's Vatican said you can take a vaccine for a disease that doesn't exist, even if the vaccine's made from aborted fetal tissue, which is completely directly contrary to Catholic teaching. So, all you who keep saying Bergoglio is the legitimate pope, you've just given him power to get people to take a vaccine that will probably kill them and promote the abortion industry. It's on you. So what we're telling you is you need out. What we're saying is you need to snap out of the system of control and go back to basic principles. Jesus Christ is your king, and you have a duty to see he reigns. Therefore, you need to found a Catholic party or join a Catholic party in your own country, and you must see that he reigns without any apologies. And in the United States, we're having a much harder time getting anyone to say yes, because the system of psychological control is so deep. Americans are confused. They think their first religion is Democrat, Republican, and the next religion is whether Catholic, Jewish, Protestant, or Muslim. And that's just totally whacked out. And you need to reflect on how deeply you have been misinformed, disinformed, and manipulated by your public school education, by television, and all these apostates in social media that are just telling you lies. I mean, Taylor Marshall, who insists that Bergoglio's the Pope, he was named Trump's ambassador to Catholics. What does that mean? That means Trump is in favor of Bergoglio. Well, Trump is pushing the vaccine, and so is Bergoglio. So, 1 + 1 = 2. If you can see one, and you can see one, and you refuse to say the two, you're going to be condemned in the day of your death by Jesus Christ. He said, you said you can see, but then you say you don't see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we were not really surprised, but shocked how quickly these same people jumped ship from the Republican Party and started to form something called the Patriot Party. And we blasted them, I think we blasted them for an entire afternoon, and they finally slowly went away. And once
what did we discover about the Patriot Party?
That was pretty much funded and founded by Jewish people out of Arizona and I think Nevada. It had professional artwork, professional graphics. It was just boom. It was like they were waiting to just do it.
Yeah, there's a Twitter account on Twitter that's been out there for a couple of years now called Cat Turd, kind of bitter, kind of ironic, sardonic kind of comedy. And Cat Turd got it going. And now they have Twitter accounts in like half the states, and their symbol is the lion. That's how you know they're Jews. The lion is not the symbol of the United States, never has, never been, but it is the symbol of Judah. And then you look at the names of all the individuals that are tweeting out, they're all Jews. But understand what this means. This is not a patriot party. Got to remember, there is a banker behind Donald Trump that owns his debt, who's a Jewish banker. He is a citizen of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And so this Patriot Party, I think, is the most sought after, run by that banker, because what do you want to do? You have to understand what's up. Why did they run Trump? They ran Trump so that if Hillary lost, they'd still have a member of the club running their country
Mm-hmm.
who would pretend to be America's friend, but really see that Obama and Hillary never got prosecuted for their thousands of crimes against humanity they committed.
Mm-hmm.
So now that Trump is leaving stage one, what do they want to do? They want to make sure that their revolution remains forever. So how can you do that? You need to destroy the opposition by raising up a fake new party. Because now they know that people realize the Republicans are traitors and the Democrats are traitors. So the American citizens are ripe for a new party, and they want to demolish that right from the beginning. This is how evil these people are. They're evil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you do right, AJ, to have the Grand Union flag behind you to remind everyone that the symbols of the American colonies, the American in their revolution, are Christian symbols. Look at that flag. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know your history, you might think, well, that looks like there's a British flag there in place of the 51 stars of the United States, but that's not what it is. That is the cross of the Crusaders, the red cross on the white field. And that is the cross of St. Andrew in X form and the white cross on the blue field. And why those two crosses? Because the founding fathers of the United States were just many of them, Washington at least, and were descendants of crusaders that were on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth crusades. The crusade was what made their families great. That was the glory of their ancestors. And the cross of St. Andrew was martyred for being politically incorrect, for saying to the Roman Emperor, I am a Catholic, and they put him to death.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the symbols of America. They're Catholic symbols. Then you have the 13 stripes for the mercantile colonies, which is free trade.
Mm-hmm.
They're not symbols of Israel. They're not symbols of Germany. They're not symbols of France, Spain. They're not symbols of any country. They're religious symbols.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say if anyone claims to be an American patriot but will not confess Jesus Christ at the heart of his patriotism, he is a fake, and he's a foreign agent.
Mm-hmm. And what was Congress's first act when the country was finally founded after everything was done in 1777? They got rid of those Christian symbols for the stars.
Yeah, and they put stars. Mm-hmm. Because the Constitution is a Masonic document. You have to mention it. You know, patriotism isn't restoring the Constitution, upholding the Constitution. The Constitution got us in the problems we're in because it doesn't defend Christian America from a central government takeover by pagans, anti-Christians, bigots, godless people, Satanists, criminals. And it certainly doesn't have any mechanism to clean out corruption from the swamp.
Yeah.
And that will never change until there's a new constitution, and that's not going to happen without a new party.
Yeah. Well, really, I think really got him to shut up or something that one day is when they said, I better just reveal my ancestry. At least some of it. Like, okay, this guy's from the blood of John Adams, Samuel Adams, John Quincy Adams, George Washington. He's like, and we haven't talked to this guy yet. He's right. This ain't the Patriot Party. And they slowly went away the rest of the day and, well, rest of the few weeks.
Or you have the people who right before the election were screaming, if you don't vote for Donald Trump, it's a mortal sin.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those was Rotticelli. Well, what did Rotticelli do last week? It called Joe Biden president-elect. Mm-hmm. Just as I said in the second week of November, the first people to have said that it would be a mortal sin not to vote for Trump will be the first people to say that Biden is the president. Because they're fakes. They're completely controlled opposition. And if you're still believing what these people say, you're a fool. Now, the purpose of our program today is not to bash other people, but we're trying to help you peel the scales off your eyes, open your eyes. The reality of all the deceit, all the treachery, all the fraud, and all the lies should now be evident this Christmas. And when you come, if once the Christmas celebrations are over, you should totally change your political outlook on what you need to be doing in the world. And you should be backing a Catholic party wherever in whatever country you are. If you don't have one, you need to found one, because politically, that's your only salvation. Short of taking up arms and starting a revolution, there's no other thing. But even if you did that, you need a Catholic party in the end. So the Catholic party is necessary whether what you're going to do, whatever you're going to take. So, but you need to do it. And we have a lot of followers on social media on all our channels, and the Americans are just like, when I was a young man, if you had told me what's happening now, I would say, I don't believe it. America is a land of the free and home of the brave. They would be the first to take up arms, to defend the country, to support Jesus Christ, to defend their liberties. But the reality is quite the opposite. You see countries like Albania, where at least they're willing to have a violent riot to convince the government not to lock down or ban Christmas. America, not even a peep.
Yeah. And then we have this General Flynn, which we thought was, a good guy, a good Catholic general. Turns out he's not that, and he's a very well controlled opposition, deep state, wanting martial law. And if Trump listened to that, but then he also listened to his bus buddy he had over for Christmas Eve, you would have foreign troops on American soil for the first time since War of 1812.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for General Flynn. He followed the Order's Twitter account back in 2017. So I do believe he's a Catholic, but why did he take $580,000 from a Turkish businessman to oppose a Turkish political movement, the Gulen movement, which is not a terrorist organization? It's the one political organization in Turkey that recognizes the Armenian massacres, genocide. So why is you as a Catholic taking money from an organization that wants to suppress that? Now, there's a lot of other people in the Trump team that have dubious. I admire Giuliani, his legal counsel. Well, not only because he's an Italian American, but he stands for a lot of good things, a lot of common sense. But why did Giuliani go to Albania and talk to an Iranian terrorist organization and get $50,000 speaker's fee? So Giuliani is clearly deep state. He promotes organizations that are controlled with the deep state, and everyone around Trump is that way. So we have to conclude that this is why Trump appoints Barr, and not someone who would put people like Barr in prison. So it's time to change your ocean and join the Catholic Party. You got to dump the Democrats and Republicans forever. You have to realize that these are just systems of control to make you serve the globalist Masonic order. And this is why America has never had foreign wars that promote America. Every time America conquers something, it gets the territory back. No empire has ever done that. So that means America's serving some other interest of someone else.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, this party, if you look at our policies, platforms, ideas, videos, you'll see we are true to the founders, most especially to the Adams family, real Adams family, John Adams family, and all of those people, including George Washington, that we want to give back the rights of the states, where they can have their own state militias and have their own sovereignty back, to take power away from the federal government, to take away the credit card from the federal government. It's all laid out there in our website there, CatholicPartyForAmerica.wordpress.com. where the states would collect the income tax. Then they would decide how much to give the government. That way they can't go on a spending spree. Then we would there so many things on that website on how hopefully to pay off that debt. What party ever said they could pay off $28 trillion? I mean, you'd be like, you'd be shocked. What is
And
doing?
that website is?
CatholicPartyForAmerica.wordpress.com.
You know, one thing I want to say to Catholics in the United States, I was born and raised in the United States, is unwittingly, or perhaps even without realizing it, most of us act like Protestants. Let me explain. The reason why we act like Protestants, even if we go to the Latin Mass every Sunday or every day of the week, is this. We keep our religion in church. Our religion is just a badge in our chest that explains what prayers we say. But in politics, we act as if we're just like a Protestant in the Republican Party or Democrat Party. We totally forget we're Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not Catholic. That's Protestant. Okay? And I don't care how tratty you think you are. If you act like that, you're acting like a Protestant in public. You're not acting as a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'll just show the example here. In Italy, for parties have their own symbols. So as the party, we had to choose a symbol, and we chose a completely Catholic symbol. And here's our symbol. I'll show you two here. We have a flag with 4 quarters to it. One is the flag of the Christian Republic of Venice. One is the Christian Republic of Amalfi. One is the Christian Republic of Pisa, and the other is the Christian Republic of Genova. 4 Christian republics who are at the core of Italian history and economics for their independence and their promotion of the arts, culture, freedom, liberty, and sovereignty throughout the age of the Italian Maritime Republic. And we had no shame to choosing that. And you know, people are saying to us, you have the most beautiful of all political parties' symbols in the entire country now. And our name, Italy for Italians, it doesn't seem Christian, but since Italy is 98% Catholic, everyone understands what Italy and Italians are. And a government that serves the people means it's going to serve Christianity. So in every country, the name of your party might have to be adjusted, but we're a Catholic party. Our national organization will always be run by Catholics, and you can't be a Freemason to join our party. And if you're found out to be one, you'll be expelled. Mm-hmm. And we've already run in a lot of rough opposition. We've had 3 notary publics refuse to even do documents for us, register them, and they're supposed to. And we've had 3 banks refuse us a bank account because they say we don't allow Freemasons. They go wild. Because Italy is dominated by the Freemasons. Are we going to give up? No, hell no. We're going to fight them to the end because we have Christ on our back. And our party, the first act of our party was to consecrate the party to the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary. And our second resolution was every year we're going to renew that consecration to the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary. Mm-hmm. And we've also made a resolution that wherever we hold our political events, we will also pray as Catholics together. And because you have to unite faith and politics, or you will not have victory. Mm-hmm. You must, and this is what it means to be a Catholic. And this is what's so hard for Catholics in the United States to understand. And this is, you got to break out of your habits and start thinking like a medieval Catholic or a European Catholic, like many of your ancestors are. And I encourage you to join AJ's initiative. He's a descendant of the founding fathers, but he's also Catholic and a descendant of great men like Charlemagne and relative people like Richard the Lionheart and Louis IX, who are great Catholic leaders. So, but it's up to you. Mm-hmm. Do you want a future for your children? Or do you want to just keep being fooled, keep being played? I mean, there's the kind of fool that will just cheer for his team, even if it's the worst losing team ever, because, well, he's going to cheer for it because everyone in town cheers for it. He's not going to stand up and say, I better cheer for a team that wins. I could understand that kind of folly in football, because football isn't going to affect your life. But in politics, you have to be part of the team that's going to save you and your children and grandchildren and your nation. If not, you are a total fool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How to be charitable. I get a lot of emails from all you folks. I mean, the Catholic Party for America's email is working. I get your emails, and it was like, great job. I was like, and that's all you're going to say?
People have been turned into thing about social media is actually I graduated with a degree in anthropology, and I'm not going to talk as a friar. I'm going to talk as an anthropologist. And anthropology is the study of human behavior. You cannot let social media turn you into an idiot, okay, who just says like, retweet, like, retweet, like, retweet. You can do more than like and retweet. You're a human being. You're not a robot, okay? So maybe there are bots out there that are doing that, but I mentioned this before on Militaris Radio TV. 4 years ago, people would retweet our things and like them a little. Now they like them a lot and retweet them little. See how much you've already surrendered and been controlled? If you're only liking tweets and not retweeting them, you've lost all integrity as a human being. You can't even put on your own social media profile something that you like. See how much they control you.
So, thank you for those nice emails saying great job and everything, but it's kind of lonely because I think, what was it song? One's the loneliest number.
Yeah, so join the Catholic Party for America, write AJ a letter and say, I want to start a state chapter. There's 50 states out there. We have no state chapters. We had some people that seemed to be more loyal to a certain social media personality than to Christ and the party. And when they found out he didn't like us, they went away. We had others who weren't being straightforward about who they were and where they were from.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of loyal Catholics on social media that follow us. What are you guys doing? You just listen to our videos? You're not going to do anything? That's sad. Do the noble thing. Do the right thing. If you admire the Crusaders, then be a Crusader. And the way of being a Crusader today, in part, is founding or participating in a Catholic party. There's a lot of work in it, but we need people like that.
Yeah. To our very active Polish, Spanish listeners, those in Spain, do not join Vox. Create your own Catholic party. What we found out about them guys will shock you. Hopefully I have more information to tell you about that in incoming videos later. I found a Catholic party in Spain. True Catholic party. Nothing Masonic. Nothing to do with Franco. Sorry. To those in Poland, found a Catholic party. Don't have anything to do with Duda. Don't have anything to do with I don't know who else, but used to be a true Catholic party in Poland. And what was said by Viktor Orban is kind of shocking. He kind of agreed with the European Union. So the Fidesz party, I don't know. So wherever you are, find a Catholic party.
Yeah, if you're in Hungary, Poland, Spain, a Catholic party means leaving the EU and leaving the Euro, because it's a Masonic organization to drag you all to hell. And that's what it's doing. It's the only thing it's ever done. And get out of NATO. The only thing NATO has ever done in Europe was bomb Serbian Orthodox Christians. Just to protect Muslims. That's the only thing NATO has ever done.
Yep.
And so it's a useless organization. It's not defending you from anyone. It's enslaving you. And it's about time that Europe broke free from the Masonic control of the United States, the deep state, because until there's the Catholic Party in the United States, the foreign power of the U.S. is used solely for the Masons. So I'm not opposed to America having influence in the world, but I'm opposed to the Freemasons using America to have Masonic influence in the world. That I'm opposed. So we need to fight for Christ on all fronts. And you Catholics in America who've woken up and realized that people like Taylor Marshall, Steve Skojak, Michael Matt, Mike Church, the Gordon brothers, who else you want to name, are just lying to you, then now's the time to become individuals. Don't be the mindless robot that says, "Pile your social media leaders like you're Hitler," that you just follow around mindlessly. You have a mind, you have a brain, you have a lot of talents, and you can do a lot on your own initiative. You got to just have the moral integrity and the personal self-confidence to say, I can do it for Christ on my own. I don't need to be controlled in what to think and say. I'm going to see that Christ will reign in every way without limits. And join the Catholic Party. That's the kind of Catholic the Catholic Party needs.
Yep. To join, go to CatholicPartyForAmerica.wordpress.com. And for is FOR, so Catholic Party for America.wordpress.com. The link to it will be in the description below. To our Italian followers and watchers, thanks to from Rome Info. Your party link will be also down there. Hopefully I got it on bookmarks.
Thank you, AJ, for having me on this program, and God bless everyone, and have a blessed Christmas.
Yep. This is Order Militaris Radio TV signing off. Deus Volt.
Deus Volt.